Hey guys, in this video I'm just going to be going over the Manosphere and what it is. I'm going to be making a couple of videos regarding their claims and arguments, but yeah, I just wanted this video as a reference as to whom I'm speaking of. So the Manosphere consists of four main groups, and that is MRA, or men's rights activists, MGTOW, or men going their own way, incels, or men who are involuntarily celibate, and PUA, or which stands for pickup artists. They come online where they have their own websites, blogs, and forums and discuss their experiences, beliefs, and ideas, often pushing them off as fact, and then they take to spreading their word all over social media 24/7 it seems, like making online comments, making videos, etc., etc. It seems like a lot of ranting. So all of these groups have similar tenets. They promote masculinity, opposition to feminism, misogyny, and seeming alt-right or very conservative politics. So they seem obsessed with women. They have a lot of anger for being rejected by women. They think they're treated unfairly compared to women. They think they're treated as disposable by women. So they tie all this in with female independence, which they call the modern woman, which is basically a woman that is able to pursue her own right to her own will and happiness. They talk about how the family court system is supposedly unfair when it comes to divorce and child custody. So the Manosphere has a very toxic worldview. They have a lot of hatred of women. They tie all of the issues in the world to women and feminism, from welfare to the fall of Rome. They blame all of their relationship problems on women, when in a lot of cases it seems to me it's just down to their own insecurities and incompetencies and their own myopic view of the world. So I'm just going to be giving a brief summary of who exactly these people are that make up these groups that are a part of the Manosphere. I couldn't really find an official definition, I guess because this is mostly an internet phenomenon. So I did like how Wikipedia and Urban Dictionary defined these groups, and I know people say, well, Wikipedia is not credible, it can be edited by anyone. I'm able to gauge, if a definition is credible or not on Wikipedia, and you can also look at the references that are at the bottom of the page. But yeah, I did like how those two sources defined these groups and pretty much summed up what I thought. So yeah, I'll go ahead and share that. Alright, so first we have men's rights activists, or MRA. So this is from Wikipedia. So it says, this consists of a variety of groups and individuals who focus on general social issues and specific government services which adversely impact, or in some cases, structurally discriminate against men and boys. Common topics discussed within the men's rights movement include family law, such as child custody, alimony, and marital property, and distribution, reproduction, suicide, domestic violence against men, education, social safety nets, and health policies. Many scholars describe the movement or parts of it as a backlash against feminism. As part of the Manosphere, the movement and sectors of the movement have been described by scholars and commentators as misogynistic, hateful, and in some cases advocating violence against women. In 2018, the Southern Poverty Law Center categorized some men's rights groups as being part of a hate ideology under the umbrella of male supremacy while stating that others focused on legitimate grievances. Alright, so yeah, that's how men's rights activists were defined. So next I have men going their own way, or MGTOW, which is an acronym that people just pronounce as MGTOW. So this, I believe, is from Wikipedia as well. So it says, men going their own way is an anti-feminist, misogynistic, mostly online community advocating for men to separate themselves from women and from a society which they believe has been corrupted by feminism. So I did actually find on dictionary.com, they did have an acronyms dictionary. So for MGTOW, it says men going their own way, or MGTOW, is an acronym for an online social movement and backlash to feminism where men renounce interactions with women. Okay. Alright, so next I have incels, which is a shortened way to say involuntarily celibate. So incels are men who are angry at their perceived rejection by women. So they come online and meet to discuss and spread their ideology. These definitions I got from Urban Dictionary. So they're a little bit mean, but yeah, I did find the responses on there summed up what I thought of who incels are. So first let's see what I have here. So it says self-delusional, egotistical, pretends to be a nice guy, blames others for their deprivation of sex or romantic relationships, often has stereotypes for others. And then another one I found here, it says, an individual, most commonly male, who believes a lack of sex they experience is due to factors beyond their control, such as genetics and systematic oppression, rather than their willingness or lack thereof to court those as unattractive and inept as themselves, and see no purpose behind improving their lives as it's perceived as a coping mechanism. Alright, and then next I have pickup artist, or PUA is the acronym that is often used for them. So let's see. So this definition I also got from Urban Dictionary. So it says here, someone who uses a variety of underhand tactics to try and get laid because they are having serious problems with misogyny, a warring inadequacy complex, a deeply warped image of what constitutes being a worthy person, and have never developed a healthy way of interacting with the other sex, and seem to believe that the only way to get laid is to beat the other person into submission or trick them. They believe that this is somehow a reasonable way to behave. Yeah, exactly. Alright, so I looked at the tactics that pickup artists use, and I don't see any woman with good sense or a good self-esteem falling for those tactics. So I think this is just a cycle where they're getting rejected by women, they're getting women who are mentally immature, or women who are going to play on their lack of confidence and low self-esteem. They're going to get taken advantage of. So yeah, it's just a cycle of bad experiences and being taken advantage of by women. So I've seen it where pickup artists have just gone MGTOW. I think most of these people just, they become red pill or whatever, which is some combination of all of these groups that make up the Manosphere. The red pill is used as a metaphor for the belief that certain gender roles that men are expected to conform to, such as marriage and monogamy, are intended solely to benefit women and not for a mutual benefit. I don't know what their goal is in the manosphere. It seems like they just want to vent and wallow in self-pity and victimhood. They don't pose any solutions to their problems. To me, it just seems counterproductive. Yeah, I don't think the world is going to change. It's going to keep evolving. So I think those in the manosphere should just adapt to it. Anyway, in the Manosphere, they like to twist and simplify information to fit their narrative. A lot of things they talk about would take a textbook to explain, but they just do that in 1 or 2 paragraphs on an internet forum. So yeah, there's a lot of logical fallacies and misinformation to sift through. I've seen where some women have been hoodwinked, or maybe they're just masochistic, who knows. I've seen where women have been hoodwinked into thinking the manosphere represents an idyllic man, like productive, functional, intelligent, when really I think it represents men who have a lot of issues. But yeah, I'm going to be going over that in a later video. That was it for this one. Thanks for watching.